Hello, teacher. Today I want to talk about the topic, the impact of COVID-19 on tourism in Hong Kong. I'm Su Jiaxuan, 239025, and this is my student ID. Let's come to our table of contents. I will firstly introduce the introduction of tourism in Hong Kong. Then is the descriptive statistical analysis. The methods such as pie charts, line charts, bar chart, standard deviation, mean are used in my analysis. And now let's come to our first part, the introduction of tourism in Hong Kong. Tourism in Hong Kong is one of the four major industries. And we can see in these pie charts, in 2018, the tourism industry accounts for about 4.5% in the Hong Kong's domestic production value, highlighting its importance in Hong Kong's economy. And now let's come to our second part, the outbreak of COVID-19, mean of visitors' arrivals. I found data about the total visitor arrivals from February 2020 to January 2021, and I divided this data into 4 quarters. And I also calculate the average visitor arrivals in the 4 quarters, mu1, mu2, mu3, and mu4, and finally calculate the average total visitor arrivals in 2020 is about this amount. And now let's come to our data in 2020 outbreak of COVID-19. We analyze the changes of average visitor arrivals in the 4 quarters and draw these line charts like this shape. And we can conclude that the number of tourists visiting Hong Kong in 2020 is on a downward trend, which has negatively impacted Hong Kong's tourist industry. And now let's come to the analysis of standard deviation. We use this formula to calculate our standard deviation. It's about this amount. So by comparing of the standard deviation and the mean, we can conclude that the standard deviation is very low in 2020, which reflects the fact that the tourism industry has been hit during the epidemic, and the number of visitors to Hong Kong has remained relatively stable at a very low level. And let's come to our data analysis in 2023. It's the recovery of COVID-19. We also use the mean of visitors' arrivals to present. Just repeat the steps in 2020. I divide the 12 months in 2023 into 4 quarters and calculate the 4 average visitor arrivals in these 4 quarters, mu1, mu2, mu3, mu4. And also calculate the average total visitor arrivals in 2023, just like mu. Is like this amount. And now let's come to the changes in the average visitor arrival per quarter in 2023. I draw this bar chart to help you better understand it. We can see that the number of tourists visiting Hong Kong in 2023 is on an upward trend, which has positively impacted Hong Kong's tourism industry. And now let's come to our data analysis of standard deviation in 2023. We also use this formula to calculate our standard deviation, which is this amount. So by comparing some of the standard deviation and the mean, we can find that the standard deviation in 2023 is very high, indicating that the tourism is recovering, but it also implies uncertainty in the recovering process. So this is the data analysis of the recovery of COVID-19 in 2023. So now let's come to our next part, changes in tourism before and after COVID-19. I found some data and calculate that before COVID-19 in 2019, the average total visitor arrivals in this year is about this amount. So by comparing these three data, before COVID-19, outbreak of COVID-19, and recovering and after the COVID-19, we draw a line chart of the changes in the average visitor arrivals in these 3 years, just like this shape. And from this shape, we can find that it's a significant fluctuations during these 3 years. And after 2020, a recovery trend is also be found. However, the number of visitors has not yet returned to the pre-pandemic level in 2023 compared to 2019. So I analyzed some reasons for that. The first is ongoing travel restriction. The second is economy uncertainty. The third is tourism recovery takes time. And I also used some other measurement index to show the changes in tourism before and after COVID-19, including the proportion of tourism in Hong Kong's GDP, which fell from 4.5% to 0.1%. And also the proportion of people employed tourism as a whole. Just like 6% dropped, a reduction from 6% to 0.6%. And also, the average hotel occupancies fell from 90% in 2018 to 46% in 2020. These three data show the impact of COVID-19 on Hong Kong's tourism industry, which is a negative impact on this. So now let's come to our summaries part. In my presentation, I analyzed the impact of the epidemic on visitor arrivals. I use mean, standard deviation, pie charts, line charts, bar charts, all these methods to improve my points. And I also use the data like hotel occupancy rates, the number of people employed, and so on, which suggests that the tourism industry is facing huge challenges due to the outbreak of COVID-19. So, continuously observation and measures are needed to facilitate the recovery and the development of the sector. Thank you. This is all my presentation.